Uh, we have already discussed the objective. We want to start creating a simple banking application using a HashMap. And before we start working on it, you have to, the moment you say HashMap, which will give you constant time performance for CRUD operations, searching, etc. For that, you have to identify what will be the key type and what will be the value type. So deciding the key type is pretty easy. You just ask yourself what will be the primary key of a bank account. So currently I'm talking about simple primary key, which is single field based. If time permits here or in advanced Java, I'll take an example of a composite primary key with maps. So that time you'll have to write your own key class. Currently it is not considered. And rest of the things are already discussed. So why don't we start a coding session immediately and finish your bank account, constructor toStrings, and the basic business logic methods along with custom exceptions and all that. So, and then once we come to this part, the driver part or the client or the main class as in tester, we can discuss the API, which I have already shared. So is everyone ready to code? Can I start? Can I continue? Okay. So let's open a, I don't want to work on the same in the same project because it is going to be a banking application which can continue for a day or two. So create a fresh project. I'm calling it as day 16.2. And let us start writing the this core class bank account. So under that, src class comma, suppose banking is the name of the package. You can supply suitable package name, you know that. Let's have the bank account. And I have shared with you my sequence. So from sequence, pick up the data members. So we will have it in the same manner. So here, these are the data members I want, instance variables, and make it all tight encapsulation. Int account number, it will be auto boxed into integer whenever we use it as a key type. Right now, just make it this. Here, account type, we are going to create it as an enum. So we'll create it in a minute. So let's say account type, continue. We'll create it in a minute. No, not issue. Simple enums will create. Then double or float, you can use balance. Double precision is always better. And now don't create a date, create it of a type local date. Account creation date. Account was created on. And the name of the customer. Later, we will add the has a relationship. Account has a KYC, customer details such as customer object and all. We can create it later. So here it is, simple one. Nothing complicated. Now you can click on this and say control 1. Control 1 is basically for giving you the hints. And it is asking you what do you want to create. So I want to create it as an enum. If you don't use this control 1, you can type it on your own. I mean, it's just a minute's time. And give the standard account types. Everyone remembers enum, all self-type constants, saving, current, FD. Then you can have the loan type of account. You can have the demat type of accounts, etc. You can keep whatever type of accounts you want. And this will go away. Generate the constructor, parameterized constructor. Here we are not using any automatic ID generation. Why I'm not doing that? Because then I won't get a chance to show you what happens in case of duplicate ID and all. So let's have it in a all parameterized constructor in short. And generate the toString. Compare it with, I'm meeting here for everyone to finish. Compare it with what we used to do for list. For list, we had to supply the additional overloaded constructor, which will take a primary key. We had to override equals method. For set, we had to override equals and hash code. With maps, when the key type is a simple, I mean built-in type, such as int, autobox to integer, this class becomes really easy. So now let us add, okay, let me ask you, has everyone completed? Understanding is clear? Done. Okay, I'll be sharing once I finish the writing the business logic methods. I'll share this. So business logic method to deposit funds. So we are going to wait. Yeah. So I'm not going anywhere, Shubham. I'm continuing in the same class. So after that, I'll anyway wait for everyone. Don't worry. So here we are depositing the funds into this means current account. So public void. All I'm finishing is this. All I'm taking from the user is double amount. If you are thinking that you have to take the account number, all that will be done with in the tester. Here, you don't require to take this because we are going to add it in the current. Current means this account. So you can simply say balance plus equal to amount. So tell me, for writing the deposit method, are there any validation rules which are required for deposit? Validation rules are required? No. No bank, I mean, generally banks allow you depositing any funds. For withdrawal, you'll require to validate the balance. This was your enum. Just keep something. I mean, I'm not saying only this. You can choose your own account categories. Okay. So here, now let us copy that into withdraw. This is the easiest business logic I can think of. Correct or wrong? Should we add a validation here, or is it required or not required? Validation. Of course required. How can you? Every bank has got a minimum balance condition. So you should not allow any withdrawal which takes the balance around that. So tell me, we have done all of this. All of this means writing validation rules in our first half. So should I tightly couple the validation rule here in the core class, or should we write it separately? Validation rules should be written separately. And in case validation rules fail, what is it? You will have you will have to throw the exception. So pause this and let us create a custom exception. So SRC class, and you can say account overdrawn exception. You know the word overdrawn, insufficient funds, or you can say insufficient funds exception, whatever. Account overdrawn exception. And since we are in core Java, typically we make it as a checked exception. So extend it from java.lang.exception. We have done it so many times. So I hope there are no ambiguities here. Click on this warning and ask it to suppress. When I take you to IO, then I can explain more. So we'll add suppress warnings. What is that serialization rule? All later. Account overdrawn exception. And here, you can just specify the message. So tell me, all these things I expect you to finish on your own, writing a custom exception. Tell me when you have done it. Because the next thing I'm going to write is write a validation rule. Use ID shortcuts. Otherwise, if you keep typing each and every letter, it is going to take you time. Account type. Why people are having confusion about enum? It's the easiest one. I'll show you. I'll send you basically. I'm sending you everything. It's just an enum which we have done it so many times. So this is your account type. I have sent you the enum. In case you wanted, you have. I'm sending you the bank account. Bank account class is not yet complete. But whatever I've written so far, I've sent you. And I'm sending you the account overdrawn exception class. So that if anyone stuck anywhere, take it from here. Now let us write the third part as, oh sorry, my mistake. Account overdrawn exception should be in the custom exception package. We will create it. By mistake, I wrote it here. So SRC, I was not paying attention. Package, say custom exceptions. And simply shift it, drag it, put it here. Okay, so it is properly well formatted this. And then let us create a class and let's create a package utils and let's say bank validation rules or bank account utils or whatever bank validation rules. You can add anything. And here add a static method to validate balance. Okay. So I hope you are remembering all these things. We have spent a lot of time earlier in the first half of that. So here, like static. Since typically it can be a void returning, I'm just thinking whether you'll require it here anytime. Okay, let us return the original balance because I'm going to call it even during at the time of creating it. Public static double, validate balance, and here double balance. Tell me, is it a good practice to hardcode the minimum balance here or declare it as a static final member? Hardcode or a constant? Constant is always a better suggestion. So here, declare the constant. You can make it public static final. And you can have double minimum balance. And the best way to initialize static members is through static initializer block. So here you can say minimum balance and you can say, this can be actually, let me write this. This you can make it more interesting by adding it in the account type. For saving it is maybe 5,000, for current maybe 1,000, FD maybe 1 lakh. But again, today the focus is on the maps. So I'm not making it too difficult at all. So I'm just checking here. If balance is less than minimum balance, static methods can directly access static members. Then you have to throw the custom exception, and that is your account overdrawn exception. Insufficient funds. And it is an unhandled checked exception. We don't want to handle it here, so include it in the throws class. And if the control comes here, return the validated balance to the caller. Now I'm waiting for a minute. Catch up fast. Tell me whenever you are done. This is all we had done earlier, so I think people are comfortable. If I make a mistake while writing something, do shout. Account overrun exception class. I've sent you on the chat. I've sent all the classes, so you can refer to that. Just download it. These are your validation rules. Finish it fast because we've not even started with any HashMap API. Done? Very good. I'm waiting for a couple of more saying this. Okay, finish this much. Now, And I'll send you the code in case you are taking time to do that. So currently only one validation rule I have added. Now, this rule will not get called at all automatically. So tell me, should I call this rule before, after subtracting the balance of before, B or A, before or after? Naturally before. So see, you know this. So this is your static method from some other package. So let us use the import static. Utils is the name of the package. Bank validation rules, and I don't want minimum balance. I just want the method validate balance. So now think and answer. What should be the argument I should pass here? Tell me the argument to be passed. Amount is wrong. Think a little bit. Think. Don't blindly answer. Wrong. Ankit wrong. Balance wrong. This is the simplest business logic. Bank account. Which bank account? You are working on a current bank account. Totally wrong, Shubham. How can you say bank account? Exactly. Somebody, Yash, finally got it right. Here, guys, how can you say bank account when you are passing this? So, suppose I have got 5,000 and I'm withdrawing 500. So, are you going to validate 5,000? No. Are you going to validate 500? No. Balance minus amount you are going to validate. So, it was an easy question. So, balance minus amount. And if your balance after subtracting is going to take it below the minimum funds, then you have a problem. Again, I don't want to handle it here. So delegate it further, throws account overdrawn exception. Are you understanding or not? It's a simple business logic. It's a 1 minute business logic. 1,000 I have. I'm trying 5,000 I have. I'm trying to withdraw 1,000. So 4,000 you have to check whether it is less than minimum balance. Everyone with me? Understanding completely? Okay. So this is done. And now let us write that business logic, last one, funds transfer. So transfer funds, you can change the return type to the new amount, but right now we'll make it simple transfer. I mean, what do you say? Void. Anyone wants to tell me what are the arguments you'll require for transfer funds? Account number is a wrong answer. Object, wrong answer. Okay, one argument is amount. Agreed. Yes, but how many arguments you're going to require? Why you are giving me incomplete answers? Think completely and answer. Two arguments. Very right. Which two arguments? Yes. So the current one, this you can think of it as a source. So what you call the X is a destination. Use the proper terms. So here, destination account reference. So bank account, destination, and how much is the transfer amount. So you are transferring from source, which is this invoker object, to the argument. So I'll give you a minute, write the code here. Of course, it has to be done with the validation. So I'm waiting here for a minute because you need to have the business logic also correctly understood. What should you write here? Type the code in Eclipse ID and paste it in chat. Bank validation was not done, Nilesh. You should have done it by now. Because, that tells me that, your speed is a little less, looks like. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll send you. You start using lot of this because we have not written anything which is complicated. I'm sending you, but in general, improve the practice. I mean, do a lot of practice. There's not even a single new concept explained so far. This is all, provided you have done the earlier practice, should not find it lost. Anyway, I've sent you the whole zip. So sync up fast. and tell me what should we write here. If you're not managing with the speed, I already told you, you can do it later in your lab session. Yes, this dot withdraw and destination dot deposit. Very right, Yash. Only thing is, after that you add a throws clause also because we still don't want to handle it. So what is the first operation, guys, you want to do? Withdraw from source account. And this itself is a source account. So even if you say directly withdraw, it's fine. And if you want to emphasize, you can say this dot withdraw. I told you, treat this as a current account. I mean the source account. And since we don't want to handle the exception here, delegate it in the throws class. And if it survives, everyone knows funds transfer is a transaction. So if the withdraw operation is failing, if you could not withdraw from source, should you deposit it in destination or should you not? I said if the withdraw fails, no validate balance is required, Ajmal. So you check this. This is already internally calling it. You are reusing your own APIs. I asked you, if the withdraw operation fails, should it continue to deposit? Of course not, right? So that is automatically done with that throwing custom exception. So when the control comes to the next line, it means withdrawal has succeeded, then deposit it into destination. Okay, that's it. This is your clean coding practices. We are reusing, we are not repeating ourselves. Do not repeat yourself. And we are reusing our own APIs thoroughly. So I'm sending you the next version of last version of bank account. If okay, getters and all will require, but I think that much you can manage. So SRC, com, app, banking, bank account. I've sent you the business logic ones also. So this is your core class. This is your enum. This is your custom exception. And this is your simple, tiny validation rule. Tell me when you are done. I'm waiting here for a minute. A couple of you are saying, let me wait for multiple. Yeah, you keep telling me. So I know I get a feedback like. Great. Okay. So now we are going to, so you have my sequence document also. So open my sequence document. So we have finished so far, right? So all done. Now we want to store the account details in a HashMap. So that HashMap will be created in the tester. You know the layers. But every time talking to the user and getting the account details and scanner and everything is painful. So we will create an account utils or collection utils class. We will create some dummy account, sample data, 4 or 5 accounts at least we will create. And that we will add a populated map that we will return that populated map with the sample data. And final thing we will write is a tester. So is everyone clear with the type of the hash map? Generic type, everyone agrees? Integer, comma, bank account. There's no confusion. Okay. So now, earlier in the morning, I had shared with you API, map API.text. Open that. When I share something, first thing is download. So otherwise you don't get it. So I have sent you this map API. We are already open. Has everyone got this map API text? Can I continue? Okay. So I have written the steps and API all together. So first is we will be creating, okay, steps and API. That is what you look for. So first you have to create a new hash map. And since it is currently, I don't have any data. When we integrate in 1 day, 2 days time, today is Monday. So tomorrow we will have that Lambda expression, functional programming and all. And day after, I'm going to show you IU. So then we will read it from the file and all that. So currently I don't have any accounts. So starting with the default constructor, size 0, capacity and load factor. Now, if you want to create a new account, you have to know the method. So now you are learning the map APIs. So when you open map interface, you're going to find all these methods. So what I'll do is I'll highlight this and I'll give you a minute. Please read that and then I'll explain word by word. I hope you have finished reading. So tell me. Kunal, this is a very basic question. So I want you to read the method. I have written withdraw and in withdraw, we are already validating the balance. So check my code. It is already done. So amount should not be greater than balance. Balance minus amount should be not less than minimum balance. So apply a little bit of things. So balance not greater than amount. You are again wrong, Srini. Balance minus amount should be greater than minimum balance. Apply some math and then you'll understand. Okay, so you that much is a very basic. Oh no, you're asking me to waste time, Kunal. It's such a easy logic. This is not at all having a map API at all. Transfer funds is calling withdraw. Focus fast because I'm not going to waste time too much. Meet me in the lab session again. Withdraw is calling validate balance. So think in numbers. My current balance, source account balance is let's say 5,000. Okay. So 5,000 is my account one balance. Account two balance is let's say 2,000. And I want to transfer 500 rupees from A1 to A2. It's such an easy business logic. I'm really like, I want you to understand that much on your own. Anyway, it's not a technology dependent at all. So now when I say this dot withdraw, the control comes here. So 5,000 minus 500, what is it? 4,500. So control click on that and that we are checking, is 4,500 less than 1,000? No. So will it proceed with the withdraw function? Yes. So the control comes here and balance. So balance is the source accounts balance is reduced to 4,500. And now those 500 rupees, I want to add it into destination. So such a simple logic. Guys, I expect you to do better. You understood Kunal or not yet still? It's just a two-liner code. You got it? So yeah, please. I mean, you have to practice more, looks like. Practice more because this has nothing to do with Java. It is a simple funds transfer from source to destination. Okay, going ahead because it breaks the flow and we go all the way back again. Anyway, so I was into the put method. So start reading. Whose method it is? It is the map interface method. How many arguments are there? Key and key type of a reference and a value type of a reference. So there are two conditions. Which are these two conditions? If it is an insertion of a new entry means with the entry with the new key. Is it going to insert the entry? Yes or no? Answer is yes. And in that case, what will this put method return? V is for value, null or not null. Answer is null because there is no existing value. It's a new entry. But if you supply the entry which already exists having the duplicate key, is it going to replace the earlier entry or not? Replace or not? It is going to replace. And what it will return is the old value reference. So instead of hearing it in English, solve it in Java. So here, map.put K1 V1. Of course, returns null because this is a new entry. K2 V2, again null. K3 V3, again null. So what will you call this? New entries or existing entries? Answer is new entries. So returns null because there is no value associated with this new entries. So now this is what? New entry or existing entry? Existing. Is it going to check key or a value? Key. Values are not even considered. In a map, you can always have duplicate values. So here, it finds it as a duplicate key. So here, K1, the key is the same. So what it will do is, it will replace the old value reference by the new value. And it will return you the old value reference. So after that, if you SOP the map, if you just simply say SOP map, what will be the output you will get? So K1, of course, don't expect the order. It is an unsorted, unordered map. Only for your understanding, I'm saying K2, V2, K3, V3, very easy. But V1 has been replaced by V4. So here the entry will be K1 and V4 and likewise. So tell me, what will be the size of the map naturally? 3 or 4? Answer is 3. So there are 3 key and a value pairs sitting in the map. Is put method totally clear? Completely clear? Okay. So now let me ask you. If you supply the duplicate key, it is going to replace the old value by new value. Everyone is clear on this. So now I'll talk about a business solution, business requirement. Okay. Suppose you are writing a customer management system where you have login, registration, change password, updates, etc. All CRUD operations. Okay. So now you have one customer registered with the email ID abc@gmail.com. So you store the customer details in the map, story over. But now another customer comes to you with the same email ID abc@gmail.com. And if you have used the put method, whose details will be kept in the map? First customers, second customers, both or neither? Answer is second customer's detail. Are you understanding? So in such cases, you don't want to take a chance. So is there any method which will add the entry only if the earlier entry doesn't exist? Answer is yes. And that method is your put if absent. So read this and I'll explain. So what is the name of the method we are talking about? See the method name. It is so easy to guess, self-explanatory. Put the entry if there is no earlier same entry. So now, best is to understand with example. Put and put if absent. They will work in the same manner if it is a new entry. So tell me, is it a new entry or an existing entry? N or E? It's a new entry, right? So naturally, it will insert the entry and returns null. So likewise, these 3 cases. Put is equal to put if absent in the case of existing entry. Are we all good? Are we all clear so far? Okay. So now tell me, is it a new entry or is it an existing entry? It's an existing entry. So in that case, is it going to replace the old entry by the new entry or is it going to retain the old value? Replace or retain? It is going to retain. Replace, you are saying wrong. See the answer here. It is put if absent. So here it will ignore, it will retain the old value. It will not replace B1 by B4. And what it returns is the retained existing value reference. But what is the difference now? Earlier you were seeing the replaced value, new value. Here your map will have old value or the new value. Answer is the old value. Okay, size of the map is till 3. Map will never allow you duplicate keys. Are we all 100% clear between put versus put if absent? Okay, so let us use this much and then go further. So now open the code. I'm not explaining the whole API. I'll explain method by method and we'll directly use it so that you don't feel lost. So you can say, let's create a new one. You can say Control-Shift-W. New one means the collection utils class. So in the utils, click on utils class. You can call it as collection utils. And here I'm writing something, add a static method. We had done all of this during the array list. Array list and the hash map, maximum importance. So spending good amount of time there. Add a static method to return a populated map of bank accounts. Okay. So this is what you will say why you are hard coding it only for convenience. Whenever you are solving any objective, I will always suggest add some sample data, test your business logic, and then of course you can take it from user scanner and all that. So start. Anyone wants to tell me what should be the return type? You can use the short forms. Return type of the method. Bank account is a wrong answer. HashMap is a correct answer. Read the statement, and already there's an answer in the question to return the populated map. So currently we are dealing with the unsorted, unordered, but the fastest map, a hash map. It will ask you which key and which value. Tell me which key. Bank account number is int, but int is not supported. So a wrapper class. And here you have bank account. Oh. And here I can say populate map. Just give some method name. And don't accept any arguments here. All we will have is we'll hard code the data and you will immediately understand in next 5 minutes put versus put if absent. Okay. So here create. Always add the comments before the code. Create empty map. So we are using a default constructor here for creating. If you don't use the IDE shortcuts, somebody was saying I got lost in between because he could not cope up with the speed, and because you're not using the shortcuts. So please use the shortcuts. New hash map. All I'm doing is control space O. So that you'll cope up with the speed also. But if you say no, I just want to understand what you are doing, you are more than welcome to do that, and you can practice this in the lab session. And here I'm just returning this so compiler will be quiet. Now here, let us add certain accounts. First, I will use put method, and then we will use put if absent method, and you will notice the difference. Okay. So here, before this, if I SOP the map, currently it is all empty. Like your JSON, the curly braces. Okay. Only in JSON, we have key as a typically string comma object. Here it is object comma object, anything you can pass. So currently empty. So let us add. So add a SOP. So you'll know how the put method works. So I'm saying added using put method. Okay. And let's add map.put. There is an immediate pop-up. So pause whatever you are doing. Here we associates the specified value with the specified key. If the map previously contained a mapping for the key, the old value is replaced. Remember, it's simple. Put is nothing but replace. But currently, there's nothing to replace. So here, my key type is integer. Everyone knows auto boxing. So please give the random. Random means unsorted data. Later, we are going to sort it. So suppose account ID is 10. And here, pass new bank account. And as always, keep that constructor. All these tricks I have shown you in earlier half. So I'm just keeping this constructor here. So next I'm taking a balance, but I don't want to accept the balance without checking. Or okay, currently we are hard coding, so we don't want to call the validate balance. I'll speak slow. I said here I'm not calling validate balance because we are giving the balance which is going to be above that 1,000. So let's say 5,000. Then I said, what else I have to say? Oh, sorry. First is the account type. My mistake. Sorry. So account type dot saving. So I hope you remember your import static well. More you practice, you'll get to this. And account type dot start. I don't have to type everything. Otherwise, every time I'll have to say AC type dot something. Then comes, I guess, account type. You can continue on your own. You don't have to wait for me. And local date. Now you know the off method, parse method, and all that. That's why I spent so much time earlier. Now I can use that import static there, which is the package in which local date class exists. Java.time.local date. And then I'm going to use the parse function. Parse. And let's say it is year month. I'm not using date time formatter, so year, month, and day. So something, sorry, it's a string. Don't forget the 0 prefix, month and day. I'll send you the sample data in a minute. And the last thing is the customer name. Okay. So now I'm going to just copy paste a couple of things. Try doing it on your own. You don't have to wait till I'm sharing the data. Just add something like 5 records at least. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Give some assorted data. And of course, you are going to give a duplicate thing. So let's say here, oh, bank account 0 is wrong. Match the key properly. Otherwise, if you don't want to type, wait for a while. I can send you this. This others be saving. And let's say. It's playing with the data, nothing else. Only thing is I'm arranging it definitely in a random manner. So once you do the sorting and all that, you will understand more. Sorting. And here, 10, 10, 101 is 101, 76, 46, 10. Here, I change all the things. So types are changed. This has been saved. So I have given you, I'll send you this so that you don't have to take too much time in writing this. I'm sending you now collection utils. So I want the answers now. First, we are doing it with put, and then I'm going to replace put by put if absent. So anyone wants to tell me, line number 18, what will be the output? Null or not null? Okay, I'll wait for a minute. You tell me whenever you are done, and then I'll start talking to you. Yeah, people are answering, but I want everyone to be in the loop. So I'll wait for a complete minute, and then to keep the answers ready, I'm just going to ask you what will be the output and like what will be the size of the map and all those things. Let's wait for a minute. Okay, can I continue? Can I start asking you questions? Have you completed this, guys? Done. Okay, so start. Is this a new entry or existing entry? New entry. So what will put method return in this case? Null or not null? Of course, null. Absolutely correct. Anyone wants to answer me? What will be the output for the next entry? Null. It's a new entry. So now, till now, what is the size of the map? 2. One entry is with 10, other entry is with 101. So same thing will be happening for first 4. Everyone is clear? So you're going to see the first 4 null values. And now tell me, is it a new entry or an existing entry? Existing. So what will it return? Null or not null? Not null. And anyone wants to tell me what it will return? Whose details it will return? You can tell me by the customer name. Whose details it is going to return? Rima's details. Are you getting this? So because Rima's details are going to be replaced by Ria. It's a replaced thing. And what will be the map entries? You can see the 4 entries. 4, right? 4 entries will be there. Don't assume any sorting. No ordering, no sorting. It's an unsorted, unordered map. Are we completely clear? Is the expectation clear? Okay. So now let us write a small tester. Big tester we will write over time and just call this method and let us confirm what we said is right or wrong. Okay. So here, come to the SRC. C tester. And here you can say test banking or whatever. Yeah, anything. Test banking, or this is nothing but a simple banking management system. Later, we'll make it as an online version, online banking and all will do. So this is it. And here, I'm not writing anything else. I'm just calling a method. Invoke populate map. That's it. So let's have that import static. Import static utils, collection utils and the populate map. And all you do is populate map here. And I want to assign it to the LHS. So what is the trick? Simply say control1 here. You'll get a hint. Assign the statement to a new local variable. Guys, I'm just trying to reduce your typing, nothing more than that. And you can give the variable name as accounts. So tell me, completed this much? I'll send you this also. We are going in a very baby steps, tiny steps. We just need to confirm the understanding of your which method, this method, put method. Let me know when you are done. Okay, so though if you have done it, now you just have to run this. It's a starting point and just confirm whether what we said is correct or wrong. So for the first 4 put operation, what it was returning null. And for the 5th one, when it was having a clash. So what is the clash? Existing key or existing value. Values are not considered existing key. It is returning you the Rima's details, which are replaced by Ria's details. So how do you confirm this? Just say Control A here, select all, Control C, open some text pad, notepad, I mean anything, and check it peacefully and see. So I told you, don't expect any order. It's an unsorted, unordered map. But are you seeing Ria's details here or Rima's details here? You can check it yourself. So as you can see, the replace details you'll be able to see. Confirm and tell me if you have understood the put method. Clear? Okay. Everyone has done it. Nobody wants me to wait. So now globally replace. I'll tell you how. I'm just telling you the difference between put versus put if absent. So when you know both the methods, you can choose whatever is appropriate anytime. So go to collection utils, please. And here, see what I'm doing. First, observe what everyone must be knowing. All these are the ID shortcuts. So select this map.put and say Control F. Control F is for find and replace. And replace it by map.put if absent. I is uppercase, A. This is all camel casing, guys. Replace put by put if absent. If you don't want to take these efforts, I've already taken it for you. So now tell me, what will be the size of the map? Will it be 4 or will it be 5? What repeat, Nilesh? Just replace put method by put if absent. Map dot put, replace it by put if absent. What is that? This thing. Here I said it was, now I can't repeat it again. Map dot put. Just do that. Control F. Control F is for find and replace. And replace it by. Otherwise, stop. Don't do that. See myself doing it. So this is just a global replacement. Editor, I'm saying. So Control F will do the job. Now tell me how many entries you, this is more important, not the shortcut. Editor keys are not important. 4 entries is the correct answer. So anyone wants to tell me now, what will be the output for the first 4 times? Null or not null? First 4. It will be null. Put as well as put if absent works exactly like what? Exactly like your, if for the new entries, it is the same. Now think and answer. What will be the output here? Null or not null? Answer is not null. And whose details it will show you? Tell me. Is it going to show you the Rima's details or Ria's details? Rima's details. So that output is also the same. But now if I ask you, what will map contain ultimately? Rima's details or Ria's details? Of course, the older one is retained. This is not replacement at all. That's it, guys. It is so easy to test it without wasting time. Run it again. Take this. You can see put is null. Control A, Control C. And this was earlier observation was for put method. This is for put if absent. And earlier you could see the put method is replacing the old value by new value. Whereas put if absent method is retaining the old value reference. I'll also save it as observations so that later anytime put versus put if absent observations. Got the same observations? Understood the put versus put if absent? So now answer my logical question. If you are hard coding, if you are giving your own sample data, which is the method you should, I know I'm not going to give any duplicate record and all. So which will be faster? Put will be faster or put if absent will be faster? Put method will be faster. Put if absent means it is going to check if the earlier record exists or not. Okay, so you don't have to do the checking at all. So either you use, this was just done for this, for what? For testing purpose. So now somebody was asking me, please repeat. Nilesh, I guess. Nilesh, focus here. So how are I'm going to again replace it back to map.put. Okay, so here, pick up this thing. What is it? Highlight whatever you want to replace and then say Control F. And here, replace it by map.put and say replace all. Okay, so, and you know the answer of it. So this was your, currently just keep it as put. The idea was to just explain, and I'll also share this observations with you. So whenever you are in the lab session and all, you can revise. 100% clear? Okay, next one. Like how in collection and below, we had a bulk addition method add all. Here you have put all. Read that. Like this is equivalent to your bulk insertion. So if you say map1 dot put all map2, what is it going to do? It is never copy of objects. So it will copy all the entries from map2. When I say copy entries, key and a value pair into map1. And is it going to use put if absent internally, or is it going to use put method? It is put all. So it is put as in replace. So if there is an existing entry, that will be replaced by the old value will be replaced by the new value. Understood this completely? So put all is nothing but a bulk addition. Look at the next two methods and we will write some code. So you read both the methods. I'll explain both. Okay, actually 4, 5, 6, you can read all three of them. Read 4, 5, 6 together. I'll discuss them one by one. You tell me whenever you have read it. I'll start asking you questions. There is an example also actually. Finished reading? Okay. So let's start solving it one by one. And you will see why hash maps are going to be used throughout as the most favorite data structure in J2E. You will see there will be something like a web server, web container. They all create all these maps for us. Currently, today we are creating. In advanced Java, web containers, web servers will be creating it for us. That's anyway later. So now, here, this is for, if I ask you a question, is it create, you know the term CRUD, create, retrieve, update or delete. Which operation I'm talking about here? Retrieval. Everyone understands. And can you see this? In goes the key and out comes the value. It is as easy as that. So you'll say why it is object, because internally it is going to call hash code and equals for finding it out. And those methods are coming from object class. That's why the argument is object. So focus on the important things today. So what this will return, if there is a mapping, existing mapping, it will return you the mapped value reference. But if the key is not found, there's nothing to return, so it will return null. So listen to the question. Suppose your map has K1, V1, K2, V2, K3, V3, 3 entries. If I say map.get K2, of course there is an entry associated with it. It will return you V2. But is there any entry with the key K10? Answer is no. So in that case, it will return you null. Clear? Completely? So will this operation run in constant time performance O1 factor or ON factor? O1 or ON? Answer is O1. Why? Because I'm going to give you a detailed readme on HashMap and some articles also. I'm going to supply the link. So here, when you say this, what will JVM call internally? Key.hashcode. It will pass it through the internal hash function, derives bucket ID, and in that bucket, the search is narrowed to a single bucket. Then in that bucket, it will check if the key exists, if the key and a value pair exists. So it is all constant time performance. Look at the next method. Again, so easy to understand. When will it return true? If the key exists or if the key does not exist? Obvious question. Key exists, returns to contains key. Earlier we had a contains method. Now here you have contains key, contains value method. Okay. So map.contains key K1. If you have K1, V1, K2, V2, K3, V3 true. If you say map.contains key K10 or something, it will return you false. So tell me, runs in what? Constant time, O1 or ON? Any API which works on the key, 100% works in the constant time performance. But guys, now you have an opposite method, contains value, where you supply the value type of reference. So again, if the value type of reference exists, it will return true, otherwise false. But here, there is a big difference. Contains value runs in a linear time performance. Why? Because the hash code and equals method are all going to be working on the key. So if you give a value type of reference, can your JVM narrow down the search to a particular bucket, or does it have to search linearly across all the buckets? Specific bucket or all the buckets? Of course, linearly it has to search for all the buckets, and that is why typically we'll not use the contains value. You'll see it is not required also. So I hope you got it so far. Put if absent, put all, get contains key and contains value. Are we all good? Are we all clear so far? Remove method and all later I'll explain. I mean, whenever we require. Okay. So now please open this thing. What is it? Sequence. And now we are going to write a full-fledged. We used to write earlier the long examples having that switch casing, options and all that. So that we are going to do. So this part we have already done. Now these are the options I want to give it to user. So user should be able to open the account. The bank manager should be able to display the details of all accounts, etc. Okay. So before that, before we start doing it, let us create a template quickly. So you can say, you can open test banking. I hope you remember the structure of the template. What is the outermost structure? Whenever we write a big tester, switch casing and all, what is the outermost one? Try with resources is a very right answer. So try with resources. Here I'm going to take the details from user. So scanner naturally. Finish it. You don't require my help. We have done it literally tons of times. Use scanner. This is your outermost. Then you have the exit condition. You don't require any counter and all. We are in a collection framework. So exit flag you will have. Oh, false. I will initialize it. Inside will be while not exit. Do it fast. And inside, if you have an exception in a particular try block and all, I don't want to abort the code. So here will be your inner try catch all. I hope everyone understands and remembers what we had done it earlier. Never keep the catch block empty. And here you add a read off or clear the scanner's buffer read off pending inputs from scanner. SC next line. And the innermost control structure will be your switch case. You just say SW and you will get it. And here I'll say SC.extend. I'll send you this if you require. Actually, you should not require it because we have really done it so many times earlier. Let's say case 100 or you can say case 0. Exit true. And here we'll start by giving the options. First option is create account. Second option is display all accounts. Maybe a bank manager wants to see that. And currently we'll just say 100. Here I'll ask the user. Choose the option or enter your option. So this is the standard template. If you want, I can share this with you. You should be able to do this by now very, very fast and without feeling lost. Anyway, I've given you the code if you want it. I'll wait here for a minute. You catch up. We're going to add more options, more menu options. When I take you to advanced Java, you will have buttons, you will have drop-down lists, you'll have all those HTML form elements and all. You let me know whenever you have reached here, whenever you are done here. This much, I mean. Some of you are saying done. Let's wait for a complete minute and then I'll take it ahead. Anyone wants me to wait? If you want me to wait, tell me. Wait and I'll wait. Otherwise, I'll take it as a go ahead. People are saying they are done it. Like I said, I'm not yet written anything which is specific to any case. So let's start solving. The first one, create account. So now I'm not writing you. We never jump into code. First we discuss. So tell me, I'll give you options as always. So should we take all the, okay, before that I should say this. Should we ever have, will your map ever allow you duplicate accounts? Simple question, simple answer. Duplicate account numbers will be allowed in the map or not allowed in the map? Of course not. So now my related question is, should you accept all the inputs from the user, such as, wait a second, such as all this account number, type, balance, etc. Or should you just pick up account number and check if it is already existing? Tell me, only take account number and validate it for duplication or accept everything? Only account number. Okay, you are absolutely right. So we will say, I'm discussing so that you can write parallelly. Not now. Let me finish the discussion. So I'll ask user to enter. User means not a customer. This is your banking system clerk, banking system employee. Okay, so enter account number, chooses something. Now, is there any method to find out whether the same key already exists? Answer is yes. Which method you want to use? Get method. Okay. You guys, see, I'm saying don't rely on your memory. I've given you all the map API here. So you just have to read the map API and give me the correct name of the method. Nobody has given me any correct method name. Contains key is a correct method name. So, see, I can say put if absent. I can say get. But easiest one, logical one, check if the key exists. If it returns yes, throw the exception, throw the custom exception and, don't take other inputs. Otherwise, continue. Clear? So that is the way we are going to write it. Is this the only way? Absolutely not. I can say 10 different solutions. Best possible way. So start, accept only account number. So here I'm saying int account number, any variable name. This is a method local variable name. And there is no need of adding additional overloaded constructor, no need of equals, hash code, nothing, because all those things are already done by the integer class. And you simply check if accounts dot contains key and account number. I have a small question here. The data type of account number is int. If you take the cursor here, contains key requires object. So can anyone tell me how it is accepting int and converting it? How it is doing exactly? So there are two conversions, guys. Which is the first conversion? Auto boxing. You remember all of this? So that will convert it into integer. And then there is a upcasting. You remember integer, extending number, extending object. So this is your object here. So this all works. So here, now you have to, okay. So what does this imply? This implies duplicate account number. So if I add it and if I call put method, it will replace my earlier account details. If I say put if absent, it is all waste anyway. So here, throw the exception. So tell me, which is the exception class we have currently? Custom exception, account overdrawn exception. So does this make sense to throw the account overdrawn exception for this error, or should we create another custom exception class? Another custom exception class makes it proper. You have two options, guys. See, always I'm giving you multiple options. Create a one class account handling exception and change the message. That approach I had shown you earlier. Today I'm showing you create a separate class. So it becomes so easy. So just giving you practice. I'm giving you a lot of practice in core Java. So when I take you to web programming in Java, you won't you won't find it difficult. Coming back, custom exceptions, you can actually, just copy paste. Simple. Control C, Control V, and call it as duplicate account exception or account already, anything. Okay, duplicate. Or now I'll just, anyway, I was thinking about this. And here, the zero change here. So since it is so repetitive, generally I create only one class and keep changing the message. So showing you both the options, whichever option you like, you can take. So now continue here. And here, let us throw new duplicate account exception. And here, account number already exists or account is duplicate, anything. If you come down here, now it says new account number. So now you prompt for the remaining details. Enter. If you have understood it, you won't require any code sharing and anything. So which are the other details I want is here. So account type I'm taking from user, balance, date, the name. Okay. So here we don't know. I'll say this, enter account type. So all these things we have really done it multiple times. So I hope you will understand it. So let me ask you. I'm just checking whether we can do it in one line or not. We can do it in one line. So here, for adding the account details, now which method I should use? Put or put if absent? Which method should be used? Put method should be used. Put if absent, you are wrong, because that put if absent is nothing but the combination of contains key and put. So we have already confirmed here it is a new account number. So why do you want to call again put if absent and again ask the JVM to check it? So correct answer is put method is sufficient. And here you can use accounts dot put and it takes a key. So what is that key? Account number. So we have already validated that. And here you have new bank account. Account number is already there. Then it's the account type. You know all about this. So account type dot value of in goes your SL. You can write those rules, convert it into it. Right now, I'm not doing all this. I'm writing it here in chart. I said you can refactor it into the method also. So balance then. Oh, sorry. We have that method validate balance. If we have that method, why not use it? This has nothing to do with the maths. So I expect you to do it on your own. Bank validation rules. We have that. Sorry, validate balance. So while opening balance should not be less than 1,000. So we are having that, and that is the reason I was returning the double from there. If you have revised earlier part, this should sound very easy. Then is the creation date. So now you can again use the import static. Local date, all the methods are not all, parse method is static. So import static java.time dot local date dot parse. I'm going to send you this code, don't worry. So here I can use directly parse and sc dot next creation date. I'm not changing date time formatter. I've already shown you that. Your month and day and the name of the customer. If you want to take the full name, you can use sc dot next line. Just a first name or last name, this much only. Here you can give a message, account created. So nothing but the earlier APIs. I've sent you the one. and waiting here till you say you have done it, at least for a minute. Try to write as much as possible on your own without taking that help. And very good, Saurabh. Finish it. Some of you are saying yes. So do try it out also. Or okay, we'll try it out later. We'll do the trying out, but I have not yet written the display all accounts part. So after that, we will test it. Yeah, Abhijit, I'm waiting. Waiting for another minute. Done. Very good. So if you are, like I said, this code doesn't involve. The map API is only what I'm using are two methods. One is contains key and one is put. Rest all is all about your import static. Can I continue to the next case? Shall we? Okay. So now read the next one. Typical CRUD operations and then searching and all that. Okay. So now I want to display the details of all accounts. See, later means in web programming, we are going to have a proper login form and all that. So if the user has logged in as the bank manager, then only he or she can see the details of all accounts. But a one customer cannot see the other customer's details naturally. So imagine that bank manager has logged in or some bank employee has logged in and he or she wants to see details of all accounts. So anyone wants to tell me, will you be able to use for loop? For int equal to 0, I less than this. No. Why not? Because HashMap is not supporting indexes at all. Indices are not supported. So that is gone. Will you be able to attach? No. It's not because of no collection. It is because it doesn't support any indices. That is the reason. Will you be able to attach for each? Can I say for each bank account A in whatever? Answer is no. Because for each has to be, well, if you want to attach a for each, you can attach it only to the array or to the iterable. And map is neither. It is not iterable at all. So that option is gone. Iterator option is gone. List iterator is gone. So this is the limitation of the maps. Will you be, okay, till I show you Java APIs, that is functional programming later. So now what is it you have is, you have to identify, see, so this is the limitation. You cannot directly attach anything. So in this case, the solution exists. So I hope you have map API opened already. Come down to the part. I've given everything in writing. You just have to read it to understand how to overcome the limitations of the map. Which limitation? The first limitation you saw is you cannot simply directly iterate over the map. If you try doing it, you'll get a compiler error. You'll see that in a minute. So this is the problem statement. The other problems we'll talk about later. So solution is, anytime you want to go over all the entries to the map, you can say SOP map. But do you remember how bad it looks? Do you want to give this kind of output to the user, or would you like to display the account details on separate lines? Tell me, is this an acceptable report? Of course not. It looks so complex. So nobody, I mean, people will not accept this solution at all. So the other solution is, can I extract the map into its collection view? Answer is yes. So that is what I'm showing you now. So what does a map consist of? Everyone knows keys and values. So there are exactly three methods. One is key set to extract the keys. Other one is the values method to extract the value type of references. And one is called as entry set, which will return you the set of entries directly. So the third method is little complex. So we will discuss it after a while. So now you tell me. In this case, read this. This is your key set method. This is your values method. So which one should we use? The choices are first one or second one. You read both the methods and you tell me. Have you read, Ankit, both the methods? Have you understood the question? The question is, I want to display the account details of all the accounts created in the bank. Of course, the answer is second one. If you say option one, what will you see? Only the account numbers. Am I interested in seeing only the account numbers or the complete account details? Of course, complete account details. Okay, but I'll explain all the methods. So when you say key set, your JVM is going to go through bucket by bucket and it is going to extract only the keys, and those key type of references, it is going to put it in the set. So what is the type of the key here? It is currently integer. So you'll get set of integer. But this is going to involve, or this is going to take not constant time performance, because it has to linearly go through all the buckets and extract the keys. So O of n, order of n. So then once I have a set, I can iterate over it. Set is iterable. But the method which you will use maximum amount of time is values, because you want to extract the complete account details, which is nothing but a value type. So what is the main name of the method? Values. Is it returning you set of values or a collection? Is it returning you, Akshay, wait, you have a question, but I'm not yet finished from my side. So wait a little bit. It is a collection. So anyone wants to tell me why key set is returning you a set and why values is returning a collection? Why key set returns you a set and why values returns you a collection? Key set is not an array list. You're totally wrong, Abhijit. Key set is a set, it is saying. So tell me, in map, what is unique? What is distinct? Keys or values? Keys. And set is the one collection which does not allow you the duplicates. So of course, keys will be copied into a set, whereas the values can be duplicated. And collection is a super interface of a set which doesn't say anything about duplicates or non-duplicates. So you may have or you may not have duplicates there. So we are going to use this values method and in this manner. And of course, it runs in a variable time performance. So add here, then we can test our API. Case 2, add a break, and here give a title, all accounts. This will be, of course, role based. So that role will be like bank manager, some bank employee and all that. And now here, okay, stop coding. Stop coding for a minute. Here I'm showing you the problem first. If I say for each bank account A in accounts, if I say SOP A. So don't type anything. I'm asking you a question here. I'll give you time to type. Is there a compiler error or no compiler error? There is a compiler error. Everyone can see that. Just take the cursor over that. And I'm taking the cursor over that. It tells you so clearly, can only iterate over an array or instance of iterable. And tell me, is HashMap an array? No. Is it iterable? No. So here, this fails. So this is a standard limitation of a map. So here, what is the method I want to call is I don't want to call, I don't want to get the account numbers. I want to get the whole account details. So values. And once you say values, of course, this is returning you a collection. Collection is a iterable, gets the job done. Now you type. Understand and then type. Don't just blindly copy. Tell me when your typing is done. We are going to test it together. Both the methods, create account and display. So two-liner. This is tells you the limitation of the map. How about others? Aniket is saying that is done. Okay. So now run this and let's check. So do it in the similar manner. So I have already explained all that. So let's say display all accounts. Okay, first let us see whether I'm getting all those account details. And you will see it is much better output than this. So here you can see unsorted, unordered and all of that. It is a hash map. And here you are seeing all the account details which already existed in a hard-coded manner. Working so far? Okay. Now let us create an account with a existing account number and we'll see what happens. So enter your option 1. So here, suppose I say 10. So what do you expect to see? Exception or will it accept further data? Of course, exception. Custom exception or built-in exception? Custom exception. So check it out. You remember we have done all this. So it's saying duplicate account exception, account number already exists and throws us out. Okay. Now, so here, now let us give the new one. So give anything. Just give this one. So now it is continuing. The contains key method returns false. So the code continues. And then I'm saying account type. Let's say FD. We are uppercasing it. At least I'm uppercasing it. I don't know about you. So let's say 3,50,000 something. And creation date, year, month, and day. So 2021, month 31st of December, maybe. And the customer date, have I given correctly? The name of the customer is, let's say, Shekhar or something. So it says account created successfully and display the account thing and check whether the account was created. So I'll wait here for a minute. I'm giving you here actually a 10 minutes break, so I don't have to wait. So here I'm giving you a 10 minutes break just as a breather so that you will sustain till 1:40. So take a minute's break. Before that, shall I send the tester? So anyone, who could not finish it, I've sent this one, test banking already. I have not made any changes, Abhijit, in earlier one. Test banking I have already said. Okay. So let's have a 10 minutes break and we'll resume exactly at 12:47. See you in 10. You keep the code tested so far. And individual questions, individual queries, of course, I will solve in the lab session. So at that time, you can share the screen and you can ask me your questions. The first two cases, creating new account and displaying of all account details. Done? Can we continue, guys? Tell me. Okay, very good. So now let us look at the third requirement, not the sequence. So the thing is, yeah. So I'm just going to discuss and you are going to give me the solution. All answers, this is not a memory-based question at all. Oh, sorry. All you are going to keep is open this map API and keep it open and answer my question. So here is the requirement. You are now the customer, bank customer, okay, comes in and user wants to see. Here I'm not having any login or anything. User just gives me, customer gives me account number, and if the account number exists, we have to send the account details. Otherwise, throw the exception. So answer the question. Which method you want to use? Which map API method you want to use for this? Absolutely correct. Get method is the very right answer. So if the get method returns null, what does it mean? Account exists or does not exist? Get method returns null. What does it imply? Account doesn't exist. So throw the exception. Otherwise, the get method is going to return you that value reference displayed. So I'm waiting here for a minute. Try it out. And in a minute, I will join you. You can write you can either write it directly in the tester or in that collection utils or something. You can write a method, find account or some such thing, find by account number. You any solution I'll accept. Just get this done. I'm just waiting for 1 or 2 minutes. You can create another custom exception, account not found, or now I'll say you create just one account handling exception and give the message. You do it the way you want. Let me know whenever you complete. I've shared the tester, everything. So everyone should try it, not just a couple of you. You let me know whenever you are done. So I can, yeah, you can just tell me you have done it and then it is fine. Okay, you have written the method, yes, fine. That's good enough. Yeah, very good. So let's start writing it together in case you have not done it so far. So let's add a new case here in the tester. I'm adding it in the options first. Account summary, account details, whatever. So this is the customer login part. Here you ask user, enter account number. Later we will add, some validation such as customer ID, login kind of a thing we'll add, not now. And here you can simply call a method which we will write together. If you have written the code here, that is also okay. I'm just going to refactor it into method because next few requirements also I can call that. So let us call that properly. Find by, it's a finder, find by account number. And all I'm passing to that method is sc.nextend. And if it returns you, so I've not written this method, we are reverse engineering. We are going to write it in that collection utils, find by account number. And if it is not throwing an exception, that means it is all correct. So here, let's say bank account summary, and I can print that. Or 1, 2, 3, right? One more. Okay. So this becomes again clean code. Again, I'm saying if you have written the code right here, I'm still okay with that. So now I have to call this method. Rather, we have to write this method. So I'm writing it in collection utils. Add, you can write it in the validation rules collection utils. It is a utility method. So I'm writing it in collection utils. Add a static method to return account details or throw the exception in case account details are account number is invalid. So public static. What should be the return type of this method? Anyone? The HashMap return type of this method is going to be HashMap. Wrong answer. Bank account. Are you returning all the account details or a specific one? A specific one. You are accepting from user. This is a customer who is coming to your bank. So bank account is the correct one. And what is the method name I've written? Same thing I'll post right here. Just giving you a lot of practice in writing the APIs. Collection utils. And here I can say int account number. And this is where you are going to use the hash map. So you'll have to pass the hash map also because all my data is in that hash map. So let's just copy this. If you're wondering why she's writing a method and all that, you can write it, you can write it in that class itself, but this is going to be reusable. So wrote it. Variable name can be anything. And here, all you have to just do is check. So you can do it in one line, multiple line. I'm just doing it in a multiple line. So bank account A is equal to map.get account number. See the easy and powerful, simple yet powerful. If A is equal to null, throw the exception, throw new account. Now I'll call it as account handling exception and I'll give a proper message. Valid account number, or I can say account not found, whatever. I have yet to create the class. Otherwise, if the control comes here, return this. And here I'm creating a control one here. Create a class account handling exception. And I don't want it in this, I want it in custom exceptions. And extending from exception and all that. And all I'm doing is exception message. You should be prepared for this kind of coding because it's hardly anything which is new. And since I don't want to handle it here, throws account handling exception and done that. Test banking.java. Yeah, I have to do the import static here. Wait a second, I can send you the import static. Utils, I don't have it here. Okay, I'll say here, start. So there should be, still there is an error. What is it saying? The method in collection utils. Oh, yeah, of course. I did not pass the argument correctly. So try it out on your own and do this. Yes, Sumit, but you have done it in line, not overrun. Overrun? What overrun you're talking about? Have I made a mistake? Wait a second. It's not overrun. It's an account handling exception, different exception class, Yash. Check it properly. I've created a new. How can you say account overrun means sufficient, minimum balance condition? So we have created a different one here. And definitely after doing this, test it out. Without testing, you can't really confirm whether it is working or not. So you can say first display all account details. So you know that. And then if I say account summary, and if I give something which doesn't exist, invalid account number and all that. And suppose I give something such as existing one, 76 maybe. 76 is whose account? Mohan's account. And I should be able to see the details. Yeah. So trying to keep the cleaner coding practices. Refactoring everything in the method is the only thing. So this is the invocation of the method. And this is the new custom exception class creator. And this is your collection utils method. I'll create a zip and share. But as much as possible, don't refer to my code. Try to write it on your own. And also let me know whenever you write it and after testing whether it is working or not working. I've sent you day 16.2 zip having all these options and waiting for your response. After you have written and tested, let me know. Some of you are saying, yes, done. Okay. So when you say done, please ensure that you have written it as a separate method and all you are doing is you're calling that method from the tester and test it also. All of you have done testing as well. Prashant, Yogesh and Sumit. Okay, great. Fine. So just wait for another minute for others. Done. Very good. And I hope everyone is finding it easy and a straightforward API. That is why hash maps are used so much in advanced Java. So now let me discuss the next one. It is very similar. So I'm just going to verbally discuss it and give you time for solving it. So tell me, can you pause your work, please? Those who have done it or those who have not done it, please stop working, stop coding, and answer me here. Here I'm giving the option to the user. Another option you're going to add, funds transfer. So anyone wants to tell me what will be the inputs you will accept from the user? You just want to transfer the funds. So how many, you guys, no, wrong answer. Tell me, all are this. Three arguments you'll require. Yes. So which three? Yes, you will require the source account number. You will require the destination account number and the amount. Is everyone clear? So now tell me, after you got, okay, so you got these three numbers, fine. Now, after you do source account number, I mean, okay, so this is fine. Inputs are correct. Now tell me which API will you use? Can you use directly map API or do you have to convert it into collection view for solving this? You understood my question? I said, can you use any ready-made map API for solving this? Or do you have to convert the map into collection view, calling something like key set or values method? You don't require it. Wrong answer. You don't require the conversion. Guys, here, what is it? You are going to use, user has given you the key. The account number is the key. So it's searching by the key directly available. Can you search by the key-based criteria directly in the map API? Yes. So which is the method you are going to use for that? Wrong answer. Contains key just returns you true or false. Avinash, I am not accepting this at all. Contains, where that contains is coming from? See, I have given you the map API.text. So have I written any contains method? So why you are giving me such horribly wrong answers? So think before you answer. Yes, get is the correct answer. Guys, here, if you say contains key, all you are going to get is account exists or account doesn't exist. I don't want that. I want the actual account reference to be returned. So here, the tip is you have to use the get method. But haven't we written a method, our own API just now? That is why I wrote our own method. So we have already written a method, find by account number. So what will you pass here? Okay, how many times will you call this method now? Quickly, 2 times. Once for getting the source account details, once for getting the destination account details. And if it both survives, that is doesn't throw the exception, you remember we have already written a method here. So you'll simply have to call the method transfer funds. And if it all succeeds, you give me a message, funds transfer successful. Understood what I explained? Clear or not clear? Did you understand? Okay, so I'm giving you 5 minutes, do it. And after 5 minutes, I'll join you. So you are solving this one. And I'm giving you the hint. Hint is nothing but your get method. So here we have our finder method already written. And then you just have to call the API transfer funds. Do it. I'm giving you 5 minutes for doing this. Then I will join. You test it more and confirm whether it is working at all. Yes, this is right. This is fine. Absolutely correct. Very good. But you also test it on your own and then display all the accounts and see whether the account balances are getting updated correctly. You can write it and check it out. Okay. Sumit, I want you to use the API, our own methods, that finder method, find by account number. Otherwise, you are doing so many repetitive things here. That is why I asked you to write the method so it becomes a cleaner coding practice. You understand me, Sumit? Use that finder method which we have added. Yeah, continue. Otherwise, the code wise it is fine. Okay, so I'll start writing parallelly. Those who don't need my help, you don't have to look at it. Otherwise, those who need help can continue with me. So yeah, I'm not checking each and everything. You please check along with the solution which I'm offering. So here, let us add another one, transfer funds. Another option. Once I say transfer funds, withdraw, deposit and everything becomes very easy. So let's create a case 4 here. Okay. So here, this is your funds transfer operation. You know what inputs. Enter source account number, destination account number, and the transfer amount. Correct? So now the moment you have written the method, otherwise so much of repetitive code, boilerplate code it is called, right? So I just have to say find by account number, sc.nextend, the first one, and pass the accounts map. And just say control 1 here, assign the statement to a new local variable. I can say source. If the control comes to the next line, that means source account exists. So you have the similar pattern here. You will say that even I don't want to do this. I want to write a method for transfer funds. You can always write, but this much at least I want you to try. Next you have destination. So here I'm saying destination account reference sc.nextend. So if the control comes here, it implies now source already existed, destination account also exists, right? And now you can do the proceed to continue to transfer. And that transfer is nothing but what? Calling the method source dot transfer funds to, sorry, destination account number, and the amount is next double. And if the control comes next, that is Transfer is also successful. You are not hitting any minimum balance condition. Source account is not overdrawn. So transfer success. So give a SOP there. And if you say, I want to display the updated account balance and all, you have that case 2 or whatever, you can always, you can always run that. Funds transfer successful. Are you all clear with the code? Those who had done it, very good, excellent. But those who could not complete, or anyone having question, is the code clear? It is internally only using map.get. In goes the key, out comes the value. Okay. And of course, you have to try this also. So first I'm displaying the original balances, original accounts. And suppose I say, I want to transfer from 101 to 56. I am going further this. Or okay, let's say, what is that? 4. So if I say, I don't have this, and suppose I say something, it tells you are just checking all the test conditions, test cases, invalid account number. So that looks fine. Now I'm saying, suppose I give the correct ones, but the amount too much, 1012, let's say 56, and it has got. So suppose if I try to do it the other way, you can see that account overdrawn, insufficient funds. And suppose I try for the correct one. So suppose I'm say shifting from saving to current. So 56 to 101, 1000 maybe. You check your own values. 56 to 101. 1000. It says funds transfer successful. And if I said to all this again, it has, subtracted and withdrawn and deposited. So check all the conditions, guys, properly and test your API. And you let me know whenever you have completed this. I hope you are finding the map API simple to use, but powerful. Understanding completely or not? See, the functionality, it is giving you constant time performance also, and plus doing all the CRUD operations in a very simple yet effective manner. Okay, so can I proceed? Does anyone want me to wait? Has everyone completed it? Shall I send you this? The last one I'm sending. Day 16.2 SRC. All I made it is in the tester. So sending you testbanking.java. And in the lab session, today's lab session, first I'll help you with if you want any help in completing your earlier Saturday assignment. And then you are going to get a fresh assignment to test your maps, understanding of your maps. That is how we'll be spending today's lab session. First you revise before I join, and then we will do some hands-on together. So anyway, so nobody's asked me to wait. So that means I'll take it as a signal to go ahead. Now suppose user wants to close the account. So open the map API and tell me which method you would like to use. It's an obvious question. Obvious simple answer. I want to close the account. So which is the method I should use? The open map API and you'll see. Again, all CRUD operations are more than easy. Remove. Guys, any operation you want to perform. See, if user wants to close the account, what is the input you are going to take is account number. Account number is a key or value. Key. And any API which directly works on a key, the methods exist. So it is such an easy one. So why don't you read this one? Read that and you will solve it. I've written the example also and the meaning also. Please read it on your own. Okay, so let me explain. So input is the key type of a reference. So it will try to remove the key. And if the key exists, it will return the existing value reference. And what will be deleted from the underlying map? Entire entry. I've said entire entry is removed. So it is not like only key is gone or value is gone. Key and value are tightly coupled together. So entire entry is gone. So suppose you had this particular map in the beginning. And when you said map dot remove K2, which entry will be gone? This middle entry will be gone. And what the remove method returns is the removed value reference. So now what will be the contents of the map now? Only two entries. But if you supply the key which does not exist, how can it remove any entries? So in that case, remove method will return you null and the map will be unaffected. So tell me, is the description clear? Is the remove method clear? Okay, so now I'm giving you 2 minutes looking at time. So give me the next this. So what I want is naturally the next option, add a new option. The input here will be account number, key basically, and the output should be, I'll tell you what I wanted is output. Output as the, if the key exists, I want to see the description of the account, or I can say details. Details of the account, details of the closed account. But if the account did not exist, if the user gave you the wrong account number, I want the error message via exception. Is the question clear to everyone? Okay, yes or no? Is the question, is the statement, is the input clear? Okay, so try it out. 2-3 minutes is only thing you'll require. You have a ready-made API remove. So both the documents you have sequence document also, you have map API also. So give me the solution. Yes, Modi, you're right. Anytime you finish one thing, you can always go to the next one more and try it out. Okay, so I just got one of the answers. Let me see one more this. Done? Very good, Prashant. So guys, since it is a kind of a theory session, let me do it parallelly with you. People have done it, looks like. Yogesh, no, you're not this thing. You're not checked it. Even somebody gives you the wrong account number, still you are saying account closing successful. So you have to do the little bit of checking. And I'm anyway doing it. So here, let's add an option here. Close account. All you are going to ask user is enter account number. It's key, I mean key based. So you have a ready-made method. And here You are going to call the direct method accounts dot remove, and in goes the key. But here, assign it to the left hand side, control 1. You can say assign the statement to new local variable, bank account A, suppose. Okay, so now you have to do the checking here. This, I think, Yogesh, you had forgotten. If it is equal to null, that means the account number itself is invalid. So you have to throw the exception. Yes, absolutely correct. Who was that? Pushkaraj. Yes. So here, throw the exception. Throw new. What all exceptions I've got? Duplicate account. Okay, account handling exception is fine. Duplicate account is not. It is not account overdrawn. So always give it in a, use it in a proper manner. Account handling exception. And I can say invalid account number. I can say account closing failed. This is your error message, and the root cause is basically invalid account number. You can do that, and otherwise, if the control comes here, closed account, and here I'm printing the account details. I'm not wasting time looking at it. I gave you in between 10 minutes break. So we're going to stop exactly at 1:40. Don't worry. So don't, what do you say, log out before that. Otherwise, you'll lose some of the statements. So I don't think I'm just checking. If it is null, then throw, otherwise closed account. Understood? You may not have finished the coding part, but has everyone understood the remove method? Remove method will return null in case the entry cannot be removed. In short, the key doesn't exist. Otherwise, it will return you the removed value reference, which is just I'm taking it and printing. Can I continue, guys, to the next case? Next option, next question? Because that is where it is. I mean, I'm not saying this is not interesting, but more interesting, I would say. So open that sequence. And here, solve the next one. Let's discuss the next one. So imagine that bank manager has logged in and he or she wants to find out display the account details of a particular account type. So maybe FDs, maybe loans, maybe whatever, maybe saving. So what is the input you are going to take from the manager is which account? So here, this thing. So here, what happens is, yeah, you can look at the map API and you have a lab session. So that time you can always read. So coming back to the point, I got distracted by the message. Anyway, so here, what is Reva saying is, right. So what will user give you? Account type. So tell me, account type you'll accept it as what? String. So the first thing, not saving, anything. User can give you, I mean, anything. Others. So what is the first conversion you'll have to do? Which to which conversion? Which collection? Wrong. String to enum you'll have to convert. Absolutely correct. Okay. So I'm giving you a hint here. So you will accept a string type. You'll have to convert it to enum. Which is the method you will use for parsing a string into enum? Values is a wrong answer, Aniket. Wrong answer. Value of is a correct answer, right? So value of you'll be using. And then now let me ask you a question. This is basically a searching requirement. So tell me, what is the search criteria here? Which is the searching criteria here? Is it a no, the value and all I don't want. What is the searching criteria? Give me the name of the searching criteria. Account type. Yes. Now the next question is the key of the map, is it a key-based criteria or is it a value-based criteria? K or V? Now you can say it is a value-based criteria. So now tell me, do you expect in the map a direct API or will you have to convert it into collection view? So this is where the map limitation comes up. Searching, sorting, removing, using key-based criteria, you can solve it sitting in the map world. But if it is involving any value-based criteria, you will have to do the conversion. So I have discussed there are three methods actually: key set, values, and entry set. So leave aside this thing, entry set. Can you tell me which is the method you will use for conversion, key set or values? Which method will you use for this? Of course, values. If you say key set, all you will get is account number. I said all account details I want. So here, this is the string. So here, you will convert the map into collection view. And for this, you will use the values method. So what will it return? It will return you collection of value type. And what is my value type? Bank account. Now tell me, is collection iterable? It's a yes or no question. Yes. Will I be able to attach the for each for this? Yes. So now you can use the for each for bank account, and you can check if it is the enum, if it is of the specific type. If yes, print the account details. Otherwise, don't print. Is the explanation clear? So looking at the time, we are going to do it together. If there was more time, I would have waited for 5 minutes. Is the complete explanation clear? So let's do it. And then let's then do this much. This you can, this is almost like the similar one, such accounts by bank. So we can do one at a time. So let's do this. Display account details of a specific account type. Continue to tester. And we'll add another case here. Add a break and update your menu. So display accounts by type. Okay, it's a finder by account type kind of a thing. You can write a method or you can directly write it here. Looking at time, I'm writing it directly here. So ask user, you can, if you have understood it, you don't have to wait for what I'm doing. Try it parallelly. Ask for account type. And here, if you want to be smart, if you want to be user friendly, here you can use values and display that these are the accounts which are valid in my bank. Currently skipping that. So let's use the conversion account type. And I have got that import static. So I can directly say value of, I don't have it. Somewhere I must have said control shift O. Doesn't matter. Account type dot value of SC dot next. And don't rely on user giving you the uppercase. You do that. So if user gives you the invalid name, here JVM itself will throw you that built-in exception, illegal argument exception. If it comes here, that means that, okay, account type is existing. It's a valid one. So I can have a SOP here. Account details for account type, and I'm printing which account type. And here you can use the for each bank account A. Oh, A is already taken. See, this already I've used. So I'll use the A1, and which is a collection variable, collection method. So convert it into this. So accounts.values. So for each bank account reference from the collection of values, I'm using, do the checking, filtering. If A1 dot get, I don't have the getters. Guys, pause here. The account type is a private member. So please open bank account and add a getter. Otherwise, how will you know which is the type? Getter for account type. So let's generate the getter. Don't waste your time. Almost closing time. So get type. And then you can continue with your tester. If account.get type, tell me, should I use equals or double equal to is sufficient? I'm checking the equality of two enums. Equals or double equal to. Is equals required or double equal to, that is reference equality is sufficient? Nobody is responding. Double equal to is sufficient because enums are the singleton instances of that type. So here it is sufficient. But anytime you are comparing, checking the equality of two strings, use for strings, use equals. For enum, you can use double equal to. If it is same as account type, then you have found a match, display the details. Okay. Don't throw any exceptions and all that. If user gives you, suppose, loan or demat, and there are no demat type of accounts, it will not return you anything. It will not display anything. So this is basically for value-based searching. I'll give you the here searching criteria is value-based. So had to convert map into the collection view. So completed. The next one is almost similar. I'm anyway stopping here. Stopping here means I'm waiting for this to get over, and then others we can do it. We can do it in the lab session. You let me know whenever you have done this. Done? Very good. So give it a try, and then we can stop. So here I'm first displaying all the accounts, and let's say suppose I want to find out only the saving account details. So it is 6, and suppose I say saving, it is showing me the correct account details as per the requirement. So test it quickly and tell me, is your code? First question is it clear what we discussed? When to use that conversion to collection view? Is it clear? It is a value-based searching criteria. So we had to do this conversion. So tell me guys, is it working fine? At least some of you. Everyone may not have completed. I get it totally. I'm not pushing you. That is where you have a lab session coming up. Done it? So if you see the next, I'm not solving, don't worry, I'm stopping here. So here, user will give you, user means bank manager wants to find out that which accounts are having the balance greater than specific balance. And only those accounts I want to print. So tell me, can you do it? Okay, let me ask you. So what is the searching criteria here? Question. Balance. Is it a key-based criteria or value-based criteria? Value-based criteria. The moment you are doing searching, sorting, or removing using value-based criteria, will map give you ready-made APIs or will you have to convert it to collection? You will have to convert it into collection. That is a limitation of the map. So now you know how to, okay. So let me ask you, key set method or values method? Of course, values method, because key is account number. I'm not dealing with account number, I'm dealing with balance. So it's a similar one. Only thing is here I was checking the type, there you check the balance. So what will be the input you will take from user is the balance or a specific balance, and you can write it in the very same manner. So here I'm just discussing the last one. Sorting we'll do it in the lab together. So now here, suppose my bank is running in losses. I mean, I'm giving you some example, and I want to remove all the loan account details. I don't want to entertain the loan. So if I want to remove all the loan type of accounts, tell me which method, how will you do it? If I want to remove all the loan type of accounts in this enum value of, okay, the first one is of, okay, you'll have the, I mean, conversion from string to this. Yes. No. Right. Yeah, I had a question basically. I'll ask you. Can you use directly map.remove method, or do you still need to do the conversion into the collection? Of course, you need the conversion, because if you remember that remove method takes in the account number. I don't have the account number. I'm just going by a loan type of account. So the steps are, you convert that loan into a enum using value of, and convert the map into collection using values. And then you can attach an iterator and you can iterate over the collection. Find out if the particular bank account type is loan. If it is, remove it from the underlying one. And then we'll talk about sorting and all that in the continuing lab session. So forget the last two. So tell me, till 1.8, till whatever we have done so far, has it at least reached you? Is it clear? All the statements, whatever we have made. Okay, so this is where I'm stopping here. And in the lab session, I joined little late. I give you time basically for revision. So revise it thoroughly. And then first I will help you in completing, if anyone requires my help, in completing Saturday's assignment, set-based assignment, and then we'll proceed to a fresh assignment. We'll discuss the assignment and we'll solve. So anyone has any specific question before we stop for a lunch break? You can unmute and ask. Okay, I don't see any questions coming. You think
Hello,
about
ma'am.
all those. Yeah, you have a question? Yes, please tell me.
मॅम आपण कंटेंट्स की एपीआय वापरतो त्यात ऑब्जेक्ट आणि की असतं ना, ते ऑब्जेक्टचं सांगा ना परत.
Object is passed. I'll say this. Ek second, Rohit. Let me open the API. Suppose I say HashMap contains key. So here the question, Rohit was asking me a question, that why the type of the argument is your object and not key as in generic. So here this contains key method, what is it is going to use internally? You can click on this. So here they have not given the they have not given the implementation details. Anyway, the contains key method, Rohit, internally calls the hash code, and from the hash code it will derive the bucket ID, and then in that particular bucket it will check by calling the equals method whether the key exists or not. So to answer that, whose methods, these equals and hash code methods belong to which class? They belong to object class, and that we keep on overriding. That is why the argument, no, Aniket, I'm not asking that. The hash code and equals method, where they are defined originally, they are declared originally, not in our example. I've never asked you about our example. In general, I'm discussing object class. That is so that let today the key is integer, tomorrow it can be string, later it can be your custom key class, but all of them are derived from the object class. That is why the argument is object. Anytime object classes API is getting called internally, you will definitely see the argument type as object. Understood me, Rohit? Okay. So that is, internal working basically. So equals and hash code, because they are defined in the object class, the API is written in that particular form. So guys, that will be all. And we will continue our discussion or the revision and the problem solving session in the lab session. I'll be uploading all of the data, and then we'll meet again in the lab session sometime. That will be all.